This player totally lost it and threw a punch at the ref without holding back. This one here ended up at the police station after sending the referee to the hospital. These are moments when players completely lost their cool against referees. Starting with this crazy scene that went down during an Avaí game in the 2019 Brazilian Championship. This was one of the wildest moments in Anderson Daronco's career. After calling a foul, the referee gets surrounded by players demanding answers, and midfielder Bruno Silva loses his mind. While they're arguing, Daronco accidentally steps on the player's foot, who reacts right away. Even with the tension rising, the ref keeps his cool, shows the card, and shuts down the argument without dragging it out. But if you think that was intense, wait till you see what came next. During a Champions League match between Paris Saint-Germain and Istanbul Başakşehir, something unprecedented happened. Assistant Sebastian Coltescu allegedly used a racist word to refer to Pierre Weibo, a member of the Turkish team's coaching staff. Everyone's reaction there was instant.
This time I think one of his coaching staff has talked himself into big trouble. Certainly those on. It may well be a question of whether the players are prepared to continue if...
The game got stopped and only resumed the next day with a new refereeing crew. The Turkish Championship had another moment of pure tension. During what seemed like a regular play, Ankaragücü players went ballistic over a call and surrounded the referee. The argument turns into pushing and shoving. The ref loses his balance and goes down. In the end, the match kept going, but you could tell Ankaragücü's patience had run out. And if even professionals lose control like that, imagine what happens when a kid's impulsiveness comes into play. In Argentina, a youth match at Boca Juniors ended in an unbelievable way. After a controversial call, young Facundo snaps and goes after the referee.
Sem equilíbrio o jogador, olha só, ele vai para cima de novo. O jogador desequilibrado. Que cena lamentável. Cena lamentável. Cena lamentável.
The tension builds by the second, and police have to step onto the field to break things up. The ref had to end the match before the 30-minute mark. The incident made headlines and raised a question. If there's no respect even at youth level, what can we expect from the pros? The answer would come soon after. During the match between Uruguay and Chile at the 2015 Copa America, striker Edinson Cavani gets provoked in a disgusting way by Gonzalo Jara.
And this is our exclusive video. A little caress of the chin. That's ridiculous.
Furious, he reacts by pushing his opponent, and the referee shows a straight red card. But don't think the ref went overboard. Since just moments before he'd already gotten another yellow for arguing again, I bet after that game, he thought twice before getting stressed like that again. But while Cavani became a symbol of Uruguayan outrage, in Europe another giant was losing control in the face of an equally shocking mistake. In May 2009, the semi-final between Chelsea and Barcelona turned into a refereeing nightmare. During the semi-final, referee Tom Henning Uvrebu ignored several controversial plays, including possible penalties, and even a clear handball in the box. With each call, the tension on the field just kept growing, but the one who completely lost it was Didier Drogba right after the final whistle.
Stop Drogba getting himself into further trouble.
The match ends in chaos and protests, marking one of the most chaotic nights in Champions League history. During a Manchester derby in the 2016 to 2017 season, Wayne Rooney ended up having a heated exchange with Pep Guardiola, Manchester City's manager. The tension is obvious, but then it turns into something rare. Rooney extends his hand, and Guardiola shakes it, ending the moment with mutual respect.
First flashpoint, Manchester United's captain and Manchester City's new manager.
Maybe Wayne was just overdoing it a little bit there.
Speaking of Manchester City, during a Premier League match, the team experienced one of the most explosive moments of the season. After a controversial refereeing decision, Erling Haaland can't contain himself. For a few seconds, the game seems out of control. The match went on, but the moment showed how even the greatest champions can lose their cool when they feel justice has failed. And that feeling of injustice would also take over a Brazilian striker that same year. In the 2011 Brazilian Championship, Luis Fabiano, known for his explosive temperament, lived through one of the most talked about episodes of his career. During the clash between Flamengo and São Paulo, he disputes a foul, loses control, and pushes referee Luis Antonio Silva dos Santos. The referee reacts immediately by sending off the player. Luis Fabiano leaves the field furious, still gesturing and arguing with the refereeing crew. And while he was leaving the field angry, another Brazilian star was going through a similar confrontation in one of the biggest competitions on the planet. During the round of 16 of the 2018 World Cup between Brazil and Mexico, the tension on the field was clear. After taking yet another hard foul, Neymar gets up indignant and starts arguing with the referee. The scene quickly spread around the world and reignited criticism of Neymar's behavior, accused by many of overreacting and arguing too much with referees. In 1998, during the Premier League, Paolo Di Canio completely lost control. After an uncalled foul, he turns on the referee and shoves him hard, knocking him down on the grass. The suspension was immediate, 11 games out, and an exemplary fine. Now we'll see something that seems almost impossible: the loss of control by a legend. This fight happened during the 2018 Champions League quarterfinals between Real Madrid and Juventus. It was the last minute of the game, and tension filled the stadium. Referee Michael Oliver called a penalty for Real, and that's when legendary Gigi Buffon lost control. The ref didn't hesitate. Straight red card. The case made waves worldwide, and Buffon ended up fined and suspended by UEFA. But it's not always emotion that speaks first. Sometimes it's instinct. In the 2008 Copa Sul-Americana, Botafogo vs Universidad de Chile, defender Andre Luis gets called for a foul and completely loses it. Angry, he rips the card out of referee Carlos Chandia's hands and then shoves the ref hard. Players rush to break it up while the referee tries to keep calm amid the chaos. The incident became iconic and marked one of the most explosive moments in recent South American football history. And as absurd as it seems, 7 years later, history would repeat itself in the same country, but this time in a final. The game was tense between Palmeiras and Santos in the 2015 São Paulo Championship final. After a harder play, referee Guilherme Serreta de Lima shows the red card to Dudu, who loses his head. The shove creates mayhem. Players surround the referee, and the striker is taken off the field furious. Dudu ended up suspended for 6 games and fined for the push. But the chaos wouldn't end here. If even championship finals can collapse into confusion, imagine what happens when a goal gets called back in the heat of the moment. During a clash between Juventus and Atletico de Madrid in the Champions League, the referee invalidates the Italian team's goal, claiming a foul in the build-up. The play looked normal, but the decision infuriated the players, making Cristiano Ronaldo, Chiellini and Bonucci go after the referee. The ref stood by his call, and the tension only grew. And if you think we've already hit peak tension, you're wrong. Striker Edin Dzeko completely lost control after a foul that referee Piero Giacomelli let slide during a match between Roma and Fiorentina in the 2017 Serie A. The ref doesn't think twice and shows a straight red. As he leaves the field furious, Dzeko still tries to argue, but the referee stands firm, not reacting to the provocations. But while in Europe, punishment came in the form of suspension, in Brazil, the limits would be pushed even further. In the 2021 Brazilian Championship Serie B, a moment shocked even the commentators. Goiás midfielder Ferreira gets sent off after a hard tackle and reacts violently. Upset, he goes after the referee, shoves hard, and even tries to reach teammates who were trying to hold him back. The ref falls backward, and the atmosphere on the field turns into pure chaos. In 2017, in the PSG vs Olympique de Marseille derby, Neymar again stars in one of the most tense moments of his career. After a sequence of fouls and provocations, the star loses control and gets sent off by referee Clément Turpin. The scene became a symbol of a brilliant star fighting against his own frustration, showing that sometimes not even talent is enough to contain the emotion of a derby. But in Brazil, what happened next would surpass any expulsion scene. This mess here happened during a match between São Paulo RS and Guarani de Venancio Aires in the 2021 Campeonato Gaúcho. Football that night ended up becoming a police matter. After being sent off, William Ribeiro completely loses control. The ref gets taken to the hospital while the player leaves the field arrested by police. And what seemed like rock bottom still has a similar incident on the other side of the world. In Indonesia in 2013, striker Peter Rumeropen from Persiwa Wamena reacts to a penalty called against his team in an unbelievable way. He punches the referee in the face, knocking him down. Teammates rush to restrain the player, while the referee receives medical attention still on the field. The federation acted immediately and banned Rumeropen from football forever. In the 2022 Brazilian Championship, during a game between Coritiba and Santos, striker Alisson Manga receives a yellow card and responds with sarcasm. He makes provocative gestures toward the stands, making the atmosphere even more tense. The referee notices the provocation and goes to the player to warn him again, generating more discussion on the field. The case earned Manga a public warning from the refereeing commission, but not everyone stops at the limit. During a Barcelona vs Atletico de Madrid match, when striker Diego Costa argues with referee Gil Manzano after a foul, the referee reacts immediately, straight red. The attitude came at a steep cost, an 8-game suspension and one of the most severe punishments in recent La Liga history. But there are moments when not even the loudest whistle can impose itself, and then chaos takes complete control. This happened in a match between Internacional and Figueirense in the Brazilian Championship, and ended in one of the most chaotic scenes ever seen in national football. Referee Marielson Alves Silva was accused by Figueirense players of favoring the opposing team after a sequence of expulsions and a goal in the final minutes. As soon as the game ends, Figueirense players go after the referee, shouting and gesturing while he tries to run towards the tunnel. The confusion grows, and the ref has to flee escorted by police, surrounded by furious athletes and security trying to contain them. And the sequence of absurdities would have one more chapter with the coach. In the 2023 Brazilian Championship, coach Paulo Pezzolano from Cruzeiro loses his cool after a hard foul goes unpunished. Pezzolano gets up from the bench, heads towards the fourth official, and starts complaining frantically, gesturing and yelling. The head referee notices and shows a straight red card. The scene proved that it's not always the player who loses control. But the last case on this list shows something even more disturbing, the moment when the referee stops being the victim and becomes the aggressor. During a Mexican championship match, a fight left the football world in shock. Referee Fernando Hernandez had called a controversial foul and got surrounded by Club Leon players, unhappy with the decision. In the middle of the argument, Lucas Romero approaches to question the referee, and that's when everything gets out of hand. The Mexican Federation acted quickly and suspended Hernandez for 12 games for violent conduct. Even with the apology afterward, the episode was marked as one of the most shameful moments in modern refereeing, showing that not even the referee can lose control.